Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. O Allah, open my chest for me and make my tasks easy, and untie the knots from my tongue so that they understand my speech. It's a great pleasure to greet you with the language of point. Expected if you food free through spammed, saying the dirty money of your calm. They pull a rand, killer rand, won the most expensive flashlights and dish out the taxpayers' money around, saddened by the situations, ringing the bell aloud, announcing the wideness of their scams, while inviting them to the khalab to beat our knees with empty promises. I weep. I weep for my people, not dead. I weep for the unseen bad future economy, smoothed by nepotism, hailed in frank voices of lack of wisdom, believed by lousy mouths in small gowns, embraced by sweets and ties, glorified by the most topped, dignified people. The kickbacks are not purified. I have the honor to treat this topic with ultimate reality. And its fourth point is on the strategies for maintaining integrity and ethical standard in a workspace. But it's of great responsibility to understand in detail what is ethics and integrity, the similarities between ethics and integrity, because they correlated, and the importance of maintaining ethics and integrity in a workspace. I was brought up to believe that as a child, I have to keep my words because it directly impacts how people perceive. And this has been my greatest challenges. I feel guilty when I promise people and I didn't fulfill it. And that itself is about safeguarding your integrity. So if we don't change our attitudes, it will be hard for us to fight corruption, which is a growing concern issue in the Gambia and Africa as a whole. When we look deeply at our system, the way we are being manipulated by some politicians through our policies, institutions, and what? And rules of procedures, our public officials, majority have been compromised, which causes harm down to the individuals in our society. Corruption has been a big pandemic that is affecting the entire nation because we are not ready to safeguard our ethics and integrity. What is the definition of ethics and integrity? Now, from the Cambridge Dictionary, ethics means the system of accepted beliefs that control behavior, especially such a system based on morals. While integrity simply means the quality of being honest and having the strong moral principle that you refuse to change. So we have to look at the two. That integrity is more on the side of the behavior of the individual. But then ethics is more on the side of the morals and the principles. Now, I will give you one similarities in between integrity and ethics. For example, I can go to a hospital and I bribe the nurse, maybe to do certain service for me. In that case, if that nurse happens to accept, the offer I'm trying to give to her, isn't what? She is breaking the ethics of that institution, the ethics of the department. But in that act of her doing it, she has compromised her integrity. So it's very, very important for us to take note of these actions. Again, I'll give a scenario on the side of the rape issues at the Gulf. Example, we the women that are working in the public, I can say private sectors, or even public sectors. It do happen. Men will follow you, they want you, and in return, you are not interested with the individual. Or maybe you have seen one or two things that you knew in deep in your heart, this cannot be your companion. And he start bringing out issues that you don't even understand that it really exists. What go do as a senior manager or a CEO or a boss in that office, he will use his executive power, do certain things to you that you wouldn't like. And it could be sexual harassment or goes to the extent of violating the rules or the regulations of the department. In that process, what the CEO have done is what? He has broken the rules of the department. In that case, ethics is being played. But in his acts of doing such an action, meaning he has compromised his integrity. So it's very, very important for us to look at these areas. Again, on the side of our politicians, they can tell us certain things that we knew it's practically impossible. For example, I heard of a famous politician that once said, when you vote for me, I'm going to tie the whole of Sukoda. Muni, I can say it in our local language. Till Alkarje Faine, Nsa Sukuta Be tie. You know, that then bara, okay? And people were laughing. But do you know that he has already tampered with his integrity? Because he knew deep inside his heart, he cannot tie the wall of Sukoda. It's not possible. So we as human beings, we have to look at the people that we are dealing with. Do they have any atom of integrity in them or not? And that's why most of our politicians play with our brains. Because what they will say at the end of the day, I mean, I've once heard even the president says, whatever you said in politics is a game, like it's just to make you win at the end of the day. To me, I don't believe that. I believe when you are into politics, you are to go there to tell the people what you can do for that nation. It's supposed not to be just speculations that you will want to impress them, for them to believe in what you are calling upon them, but it has to connect to your integrity, your honesty, your behavior, which is lacking in Africa today. Again, we look at another example from the side of the environment that we are facing today. If, for example, the local government council made an order and say, we supposed not to litter papers around on the street, that is a law by the local government act or by the country's laws, it's part of it. And we decided to violate that law. We go outside, eat, and throw that on the floor. And that is going to cause environmental hazards. In that case, you have broke the law of the land, compromise your integrity. Again, ethics on the side of the government rules and regulations, you have broke. So we have to look at these things and try to identify them, respect them, and make sure that it plays in everything that we are doing, or to say, or to even interact with people on such conditions. Now, let me go on to the strategies for maintaining ethics and integrity in a workspace. Every company must have a human resource department that will regularize the system by setting up policies that will guide the employees. Respecting the brand or the image of your company is something, a key. It plays a key role in the perspective of your ethics. Sitting up with the management team to understand the company code of conduct that complies with the laws of the workspace. Employees should have the Company Anti-Corruption Act or Employment Act when there are conflicts of interest of accepting a bribe in the company, receiving gifts in a workspace. Whom should the employee report to in such cases? So we have to get these things done in order to strategically avoid certain issues or falling on the side of tampering with the company rules and regulations. Why the need for confidentiality and data protection is very important in a company. So when you have a company, the first thing you have to establish is these areas to make sure that informations and data protection is key. There are some sensitive informations of the company that we have to protect. The environment and social activities, which has to be respected. The monitoring of the reporting procedures. If it has to do, if it has to be given to a superior manager in the company or any other manager, these are things that we have to put in place. Make the employee understand, the laws and the policies in that workspace. The need for a regular training and proper communication skills and silence is not the solution in such areas. So you as an employee in a department, just take note of it, that you cannot be silenced when you see certain act going on in your or in any other person that you go working with. You have to speak. So we have some kind of a problem in a society where as people are afraid to speak, or maybe they can't understand their legal rights in that company that they have been in part. Employees should have a position of a good leadership qualities that will lead the company into a greater good. Now, let's think about the importance of ethics and integrity in any company. Our clients should trust us to share their sensitive information about their situations, which will enable the functionality of the office. We should be trustworthy, with ourselves in order to avoid humiliation. We must listen to ourselves because that insecurity behaviors often exist before we exceed our limitations. We have to build that confidence within our soul, believe that nothing could compromise our integrity. This will help us survive any hostile environment inflicted by corrupt individuals. It's the responsibility of both the employer and the employee to uphold the values of ethics and integrity in order to maintain a healthy environment and good productivity. This will have the business to work efficiently. We have to strive to become sincere, respect your project deadlines, be punctual, and honest to your co-workers and clients. Be kind and let your replies be soft. Promote diversity, fairness, and inclusiveness, making the best decisions for your employees. By either promoting them through motivational means to boost their morality. Remember, I said it. It's very, very important. You, as a boss in that company, that you sometimes even put in money, give to one or two people that are doing extremely well in that system to promote their integrity level in the system. In conclusion, let's look at the verses of the Quran that talks about being honest. Because remember, we're talking about integrity and ethics. From Surah Al-Bahar, the ayah 177, that is 177, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stated, those who fulfill their promises when they promised, and those who are patient in poverty and hardship and during battle. Those are the ones who have been true. And it is those who are what? Who are the righteous. So it shows that even the religion that we believe in honor people who are what? Honest in terms of their activities, in terms of their daily lives, what they encounter. Because even with that poverty level or whatever, supposed not to allow us to sell out our integrity level. Now, this is significant, boss, that we have to work towards fulfilling in our daily life, as I said earlier. Here I have to talk about our corruption to the lala. Let our words reflect with our actions and speak words with only on the direction of truth. So this is something that we have to always put at our back of mind and know that whatever that we are going to be held accountable tomorrow, it will be one way or the other done by us. So thank you for your attention, and may Allah bless you all.